Brett Perigo, tonight's second place finisher. Plenty of fans here, Brett, and a solid second place finish.
Yeah, I got to shout out the Turn 2 Terribles over there. They're all a bunch of good guys to hang out with and talk to. I really like them.
How are you doing tonight, man?
Hey, I'm talking here. You know who you're talking to? Macho Man! On my way to Monday Night Raw.
How I want to answer the second one.
Your choice.
It's a trap.
I feel like it is. I feel like he's setting up fights in the front stretch. Is what he's trying to do.
Speedway. We've got Devin Gordon with us.
At Keen Motorsports Shop here with Kyle Keen.
Sitting here with Sean Keen. We're going to talk a little bit about racing history.
Yep.
Monday, January 19th, 2026. What's going on? I am Jimmy here with Jay-Z. We are the Turn 2 Terribles. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. We are back with a new season of the Turn 2 Terribles, first one of the year 2026. See you guys in the chat. Santos, Magby, Mandy, Steph, what's going on? Great to see everybody. We have a great show planned for you tonight. We have Preston Lattomus, driver of the Capital Renegade, number 91 sprint car, will be joining us. We'll talk to him after his rookie campaign last year. See what 2026 holds for him and get to know him a little bit better. Also, we'll take a look at some off-season news and notes. We'll take a look at schedules and and anything else you guys want to talk about. Put them in the chat. Again, we see you guys in the chat. What's going on, Marie? What's going on, Dave? Daniel Lee? What's going on, everybody? Good to see everybody again. Jay-Z, it's good to see you. How are you doing, man?
Man, it's good to see you too, buddy. I'm doing really, really good. I'm excited for tonight. Excited to get show season started. We're gonna have a great guest lineup for the month of January and into February. Excited for this show here tonight. Talk to Preston a little bit, and excited to talk about next couple weeks what we got coming, because we're gonna have some cool yearly things. I think we've kind of settled in a groove of some yearly things that we like, and we like to look back on throughout the season and make fun of ourselves or cheer ourselves on when we're right. So we're excited about all of that, man.
Yeah, we'll do. Chris is currently moving into a new home, so he'll be here next week. At least that's the plan, and so we'll have him next week. We'll do probably more bold predictions and stuff like that, more season outlook kind of stuff next week. Along with probably another guest, but more on that later. Let's get into tonight's guest. Let's bring him on in. Everybody, welcome Preston Lattomus to the show. Preston, thank you so much for joining us tonight. How are you doing?
Good, guys. How are you?
Good.
Very good, man. Very good. Hey, appreciate you taking some time. Chat with us again. I know we had you on, I think maybe what, the fall end of the year before your 410 season. I think we had you on. When was that?
No, I've never been on here, man.
Oh, we did. I thought we talked to him
No,
at one point.
no, we never did.
Damn. Look at that. I'm losing my memory now. Well, it's been far, far too long. So welcome. Um, let's do this then, because I don't know if I even know kind of your whole history. Tell everybody here, because I'm going to learn something. Kind of where you're a young guy, but you may not have a huge history in racing, but your history in racing to get you to this point, and any family history, what got you into this, and kind of give us a rundown of your racing life.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like, my dad was a racing fan his whole life. Like, pretty much idolized Dale Earnhardt, Alan Kulwicki, those guys. And he always wanted something to do with racing. He raced boats, or was around race boats, stuff like that. And always went to NASCAR races. He never went to a dirt race until I got old enough to race. And when I was 6 years old, we started running quarter midgets, Airport Speedway, Blackbird, QMA, and raced there for a little bit, and started to branch out, ran like Hagerstown, Poconos. We just travel around, man. And so that was the first couple of years, and then we started following the national tour with the USAC .25 quarter midget stuff. So ran about 4 years of that, won 4 national championships. So I guess that's pretty cool. So I was 9 years old to 12, and then when I was 12, I started racing micros. Just Linda's, Lanco, Path Alley, Kutztown, places like that. So after that, I guess in between that, I ran pavement midgets, like the 4-cylinder midgets down in the Carolinas, and I ran 7 races, and I think I'm the youngest person to ever win in those cars. So that was pretty cool to do at Dillon Speedway in I believe South Carolina. So um, after a couple of years of racing micros, traveling around Indiana, stuff like that, North Carolina, got into sprint cars. Started with the USAC East Coast Series, ran 2.5 years there, and split that half year up running 358s, and I just fell in love with wing racing, and really started to progress in that. I kind of forgot the non-wing stuff, and I just love the wing stuff. And now I'm here with Kyle and the 91 car.
That's interesting. Hearing someone go, did the non-wing stuff, man, I really fell in love with the wing. I think that happens, but I feel like lately there's been these guys where it's like I've done a little bit of both, but I really like the non-wing stuff. What is it about the wing stuff that kind of drew you to it?
Well, when I first got into sprint cars, the non-wing stuff was really the only cars I could run, 360 sprint car wise. So it was a really good, entry to sprint cars, and thankfully I did it, and it, teaches you the size of the car, and a little bit of car control, but um, really just got into wing stuff. And we're in Pennsylvania, it's our backyard. It's the wing racing capital of the world. So I just absolutely love it. It's everything around here. And if you go into the local sheets or rudders, or someone wearing a racing shirt, wing racing shirt, and so that's what it's all about, man.
No, hey, we're happy that you've come to this side. We're the wing people. We like the wings. So, and I feel like I'm still convinced we had you on the show, because I feel like I've said your name so many times, and kind of followed your journey as you got through the 358s into the 410s, and made that jump. And I talked many times on here that year before you got into the 410, which is 2024. It felt like in that 358, about halfway through the season, it's like the light bulb came on. And it's not that you don't know what you're doing or whatever, but the results came, and it looked like you were planning your moves. It looked like you were in full control of that race car. And I know that those things you didn't just figure it out during that week and went, oh shit, I know what I'm doing now. Did you feel that change too, necessarily, of like, all of a sudden I can pass any car I want, I can run this thing really hard, I can outrun the next guy? Was that sort of a progression thing, or was there something that you just picked up on that changed it for you?
Yeah. When I started racing 358s, it was mainly at Williams Grove, and in the non-wing car, you're lifting at the bridge, and you're coasting around for a lot of the track, and the 358s is just completely opposite is so momentum based, and you just got to keep it up. So I feel like really that season and a half before the end of the 2024 season, I was just trying to shake bad habits. Really, uh, I mean, the non-wing stuff, it teaches you a lot, but it's so much different than wing racing. Especially, I was going back and forth, for a while, about half a season of wing and non-racing every week, and I just thought it was teaching me bad habits, and I said I want to be a wing racer, so I kind of just put the non-wing stuff down. Um, so I feel like that second half of last season, or like three quarters of last season, um, I really got comfortable in the car, and I found the limits. And like, funny enough, like simple stuff like brakes, titanium brakes. I got those, and I tried them once, and I loved them, and that just made a complete difference. Finding little stuff that you like with ring racing versus non-wing racing, really just takes a turn, and it all came together nicely at like the same point, and it made a good season, in 2024.
So let's get into 2025 a little bit. You get an opportunity here in the Capital Renegade 91. Hopefully you got that list of sponsors like prepared and prepped and you've been practicing, because I think you're going to need it soon. Um, you get an opportunity here with Kyle and that deal. How did all that kind of come about, and what were your thoughts the first couple nights in a 410?
Yeah, so it came about with Scott McLaren was my crew chief for since I started sprint car racing, through non-wing stuff, and he ran wing 360 stuff with Trevor Lewes in the URC days, and Shane Stewart. They'd travel, and Kyle ran a good bit for him. It's the 21 car, the orange and black and green 21 car, if you remember that from a while ago. So Scott was pretty big into wing racing, and we took non-wing racing. So he's cousins with Kyle, and when Kyle, he said he was ready to step out and focus on other things in life, and also be around racing, because he loves it. Wants to be around racing, and his work has to do with racing. So he thought it would be a good idea to put someone in the car, and make the most of it.
All right. So let's talk about your first few times in this 410, because I watched the season. I watched. We were all watching. Hey, listen, I got they see the Coors Light wing panel back there, right? I follow Kyle. I like Kyle. We chat a lot. And hey, Preston, man, damn, this is an impressive kid. Give me a little bit of what your thoughts were the first few times getting out of that car.
Yeah, so we ran in like our own stuff in October of last year. We ran at Bridgeport. That was my first time in a wing 410. So that was like just an open practice, and I ran that, and I felt like super comfortable. I really liked it, and that was at Bridgeport, and there's nobody else out there with me to really tell me how slow I am. And we ran at BAPS. They had a few practice sessions, but I ran my first race at Lincoln, and pretty early on in the season. It was when the track was like super super heavy. Like everyone was screaming for tear offs, and it was really heavy. And I think I started up front, like eighth or 10th, and got it halfway through and flipped it over big. So that was the first race I had. That was the first race I had in a 410 sprint car, was going up and over pretty big.
Entering turn 3, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not the first one who's done that in one of their first few instances in turn 3 at Lincoln. I don't know what it is about that corner, but you know, it was a big one too. I remember that pretty well. It was pretty massive. Um, as the years going on, as the year went on, I think obviously you got more comfortable, you got more speed. The one thing I noticed well, I guess I notice it when I see it happen, and then I like to talk to the drivers afterward, because everybody goes through this at some point. We got to some handicap shows, right? A lot of time trial shows. You got to figure, you have to learn how to make speed in a single car. You got to learn how to make speed around other cars, and do it at a high level. When we got to a few of those handicap shows and you got to kind of start up front and run up front, did you learn a lot running and saying this is what the pace needs to be with the fast guys? Or did you learn more kind of running around that middle of the back of the pack type stuff, and learning how to pass cars. Like, do you feel like there was a difference in that? And did you learn more one way or the other?
Yeah, our goal going into the season was to run, a good bit of handicap shows because later in the race, you're kind of past the slower guys and you're up there racing with the guys who are coming from the back, like, Troy or Dietz, some of them guys that are just rifling through the field. So we really wanted to get to those, and the rain didn't help us. We had a lot of those rain out, and they turned into um, qualifying shows. So that was kind of a bummer for us, and it scripted our schedule other ways. So there was a few times that we had good qualifying efforts early in the season too, and being up there racing with those guys is everything when you're trying to learn the pace, racing aggressively, and keeping your wing speed up.
And at the end of the season, I definitely saw a few more times, running toward the front of the field. Does that give you a lot of confidence saying, hey, again, it's year one. I know that I think everybody knows you have the ability and it takes time in these cars, but did you need some of that confidence of saying, hey, I can run up front with these guys?
Yeah, we went into the season, like I said, and we had a conversation. We said this is going to be the hardest thing you're ever going to do. It's going to be the toughest racing year of your life, and you know not everybody has that, but 99% of the people have that where it's really, really hard. And so I went in mentally prepared to get my butt whooped every week. And you of course you don't want that, but just learning, trying to get better is really our goal for last season. And towards the end, it started coming together nicely, and we had a few good qualifying runs, like I said, and everything was just going good and until it wasn't like that last race. But
Jimmy, what do you got for him?
We and you were talking a little bit before about just kind of what your plans were for 2026. You said your goals for 2025 were just to kind of get better. What's your goals and what's your outlook for 2026 looking like?
yeah, so how I look at it is like going back to even the 358 stuff. It took me pretty much a full calendar year in the 358 wing stuff to really um, get ahead of a curve, or get better drastically. So I think after 47 races in a 410 sprint car in 2025. I think 2026 is going to be big. It's going to be a big year. And I think we're going to take everything we learned from last season and we're just going to build on that. And I think it can be really good. Schedule wise, the PA Posse Sprint Car Series, it's a lot of races and it's some good races, good competition, good pay. So we want to, like I was telling you earlier, it's a good baseline to stick to, and um, where the competition is going to be, where the good cars are. So run those, and I also we talked about traveling a little bit to Ohio when there's some swings or like all stars, are there a lot. Even New York when the big guys go up there. So Scott and Kyle were very good at those places. So I'm really excited to get to them.
Yeah, Jimmy, get some fan questions here in a second, but something I thought of. Where are you from, Preston? Where's hometown?
So I was born in Annapolis, Maryland. So at like every different track they have, you know, Annapolis or Lewes, Delaware. So I was born in Annapolis, Maryland, and I spent the first 8 years of my life there. Then I lived in Landenberg, Pennsylvania, which is like the CMB Chubby, area. Went to school with those guys, stuff like that. And then when I was 15, I moved to Lewes, Delaware. So my parents have lived in Delaware pretty much their whole lives, except for the first 15 years of my life. So pretty much always called Delaware home. It's where our family business is. But that's where I'm living now is Lewes, Delaware.
It's better than Jersey, so there's that. No, I like to make fun of Jersey, but with that being said, and the reason I say that is you're from that eastern area of our area. Uh, you know, Kyle's always good at Bridgeport, loves going to Bridgeport. You got some big shoes to fill at Bridgeport and performing there. So, what do you think of that place? I know you've ran over there with URC, or excuse me, with the wingless stuff. Probably you've ran it in the 410. What do you think about Bridgeport?
Yeah, that I've raced. It's between there or Port Royal. Like I Bridgeport was always pretty much my home track. So I've never missed a national sprint car point race, wing or non-wing at Bridgeport. I've gone to watch every single one, and this year I competed at the high limit race, even though it got rained out. Well, the feature did, but I absolutely love that place. It's like home to me, and Kyle clearly feels the same way. He's really good there. Um, he was really good there in the last couple of years, and so. Um, he ran the Maxims and J&Js, the last couple of years. But we switched to RPMs this year, and it was a little different for him, when we got there. And of course, I'm not as experienced as he is there or in a sprint car in general. So we got a little bit of catching up to do to Kyle, but I think we can definitely get there because I absolutely love the place, and we got a few more races there this year, so I'm excited for that.
Go ahead, Jimmy. Got some fan questions I
Yeah,
saw
a couple
rolling in.
fan questions here. Santos says, super basic question, but always curious to hear each driver's answer. What's the biggest difference between a 358 and a 410? And then he also then goes on to ask any habits you had to shake from 358 racing to now 410s.
Yeah, so I feel like the 358s, it was a lot slower. Like at Williams Grove, you just had a lot of time, a lot more time to think. Going down the straightaway. Of course, the competition is not to the 410 level. Once you're in the top 10, it certainly gets pretty high. But um, some of the bad habits I had to shake was just wing speed. Like you can going to Lincoln, you can just roll a 358 around the bottom, and the smaller line you can run, usually it's pretty good. Um, it rubbers up a lot in the 358 races, so you get a lot of different tracks than the 410 stuff, and some like that teaches you bad habits of just trying to keep the car as straight as possible when the track's slow, and later in the night sometimes it kills you. Also, just throttle response, like the 410 is a huge difference in throttle response. It's um, the best way that I kind of understood it earlier in the year was that the power difference was still a sprint car. It's still going to pick the front end up a little bit. The throttle response of getting there quicker uh, really is the big difference because you're around cars and you're more all over the throttle trying to keep the wheels under you, and of course different racetrack conditions from the 358 to the 410. So there's a lot of stuff there that is different.
By the end of the season, how'd you feel with your um, progression in that throttle response category? You feel like you more comfortable, calm? I mean, I don't know what you need, but did you feel like you made strides in that category?
Yeah, like in the very first race at Lincoln, like I said, it was super hammered down, but I ended up getting over because I was wheeling everywhere, right? And I had to learn that you can't just smash the gas everywhere and go. So later in the season, we started getting different types of racetracks. Like early in the season, it was heavy, and then during the summer, it's pretty slick. But sometimes there's fast racetracks. So that throttle response really is a big factor, and it's always something you want to improve. Like you look at Lance or Donnie Schatz, and they're so calm with the throttle pedal, and sometimes their cars are really good that allows them to do that, but those guys have really mastered it. I think that's something that everybody looks forward to in trying to make themselves better.
Mandy asks, my question is, what's your favorite and least favorite tracks and why?
So, like I said, Port Royal, whenever I'd run the USAC there, I absolutely loved it. I ran URC there last year, and that was my first wing race there, and I was like super fast. I absolutely loved it. This year with the URC stuff, we ran the Speed Week URC race and had motor problems the whole night, so it just completely ruined that. But I had a good run there in the second race of Speed Week, and then I had power steering problems, so it hasn't been kind to us. But I really love it. The fast paced racing, and there's some big shows there that I look forward to, and also Bridgeport. It's been my home track, and I was telling you before the show, I really love Eldora. I haven't raced there, but I've seen enough races there in person and on TV that I just can't not wait to get there and race.
You don't have a least
I mean,
favorite
there's
track?
anywhere you
Ah,
really haven't. Now, listen, when we if it's okay to answer this without bashing a racetrack. It's just not your style. Just
Um,
okay.
I
Anybody
will say
watching?
I did forget to mention BAPS this year was absolutely awesome. They had a few races where they got, too much rain and they even still made the features great. But every time I made a feature at BAPS, I had bad luck there too with, mechanical problems like the Ala race. Um I had a mag issue, and a couple of races before that there I had a motor issue, and didn't even really get to race there, but I absolutely loved it every time I went there. But least favorite tracks, um, I don't really have one, man. Like,
You're still figuring
yeah,
it all out and everything. You know what I
yeah,
mean? There's that you're just
it
you're happy
really,
to race.
yeah, it really depends on the night. There's some times where I'm just like absolutely disgusted with a racetrack. I'm like, man, rubber down by lap 15, and uh, you know, and then the next week it's just absolutely so good. So, it
Yeah.
really changes week to week.
Have you had a chance to race at Clinton County? Did you get up there?
No, I've never been there. So they have a few races out there, and um, never got chances to race there. It was always off weeks. Like we're at Knoxville the one week. Kyle was it's always the week of something big where the main tracks aren't racing. So no, I never got there.
Um, what was I going to say? I had something. Go ahead, Jimmy. If there was more.
Speaking of Knoxville, Mitch Bodine asked, "What did you think of Knoxville?"
Yeah, so we went out to Knoxville with the 360 car, and I love the 360 car. Like I said, when we ran at Port Royal with URC, we really found that we had something good, and it's a package that we really like. But I went to Knoxville and I went out there for hot laps, and my eyes were popping out of my head. It felt like it's unlike anything that is around here in the country. So um, really got fed the wolves there. I was early in qualifying, and I watched the first night. I watched Thursday night from the stands. So, and I went to the nationals last year. So, but Friday night I just went out early and messed up bad my first two qualifying laps, and that was my third and fourth laps on the track, and it just kind of set us behind all week. But made some moves in some lower mains and passed a lot of cars, learned a lot. So I cannot wait to get back there in the future.
360. Were you in the 91? Do you have a program with that, or was that something else?
So that was our motor that we've had. If we go back out there, we'll probably continue to run with that motor. We've had thoughts of selling it just because there's so little races that we run. But um, I made the debate with the guys. I was like, you see all these high limit guys, and I guess the outlaw guys don't, but the high limit guys and traveling guys like Chase Dietz this year went out there and ran the 360 so they can get experience on Knoxville. There's nothing like it. So you can get experience on Knoxville at the 360 the week before, and then get yourself ready for the 410s. So a lot of guys do it, and I said it'll be beneficial to have that motor in the future.
Yeah, I think it's laps. I think there's just laps and there's experience to be gained. And I know even Eldora runs a 360 race or two throughout the year. So depending on the
Yeah,
timing of it, maybe might work out to get there and get some laps too.
yeah, that would definitely be something to look into. I guess last year, it didn't really align, but they have a few races. I do know that I've seen them. So, yeah, that'd be cool to get to.
Are there any other cars that you would be like, if you ever got the opportunity to race, you'd be like, yeah, I'm right on it? Because, you were talking before about your history and how you've been into a lot of different kind of rides. And is there any car, though, that you would be like, man, I really want to race I don't know, big block modified or something?
Yeah, when growing up around Delaware in the Delaware area, just around Delaware people, I always thought I was going to run late models, right? Like that was the thing. That was the cool stuff around Georgetown and Delmar. So I always like that. Midgets. I love the midgets. Like when we ran the Appalachian Midget Week, I ran Chili Bowl a couple times, and those cars are just so fun. So I'd love to run a midget a couple more times, and I love the micro stuff. Like I had a micro the last couple of years just because I love doing it, and I stopped, with the when the 410 stuff came, but um, I absolutely love doing that stuff. It's fun and it's kind of arcadey compared to the 410 stuff where it's really serious all the time. So I love cars like micros, midgets. Watching late models, they're awesome.
How many laps do you have around Path Valley?
Oh man, I ran, I'd say probably 10 micro races there and a midget race. But every time we had the opportunity to go there this year, like Speed Week, uh, we just did not go. That was the last, race of the week, I think. And we're like, we have work the next day. We're not doing that. And same thing with the high limit show. We got like so reined in at the high limit show at Bridgeport, and we had Path Valley the next day, and we're just like, we are not ready for that. And I'll say it, I'm intimidated to run there just because they can tear a lot of stuff up, and it's easy to get yourself in a sticky situation there with the 410.
Real quick, whether there's cars on around you or not, you can off a two, it gets a little tricky, and you can pull the wheels up quick, and you can bike, and it. I'll be honest, I'm a short track fan of sprint cars, but man, it looks sketchy. You probably feel like you're going 1,000 miles an hour for sure. But it's fun to watch as a fan who's not going to wreck a race car. I got to be honest with you. But hopefully, I don't know. Are there any scheduled 410 races there this year at all?
I'm
I
not
don't think I
sure.
saw any.
No, but like relating to that, I ran the 360 non-wing at Kutztown, and that was actually starting to become one of my favorite tracks there in the non-wing stuff because it was fighter jets in a gymnasium. Like
Yep.
that's the definition of that. And I only ran the 1 410 race there, and um, it was I was whatever, but the 360 stuff was really fun there. So I don't know about a wing sprint car there. I've seen the races. Uh,
Yeah,
it's a
that
little
that that
sketchy.
yeah, but
Wait,
man,
you ran
the USAC stuff there is awesome.
you
Yeah.
ran that first year the USAC 410s were there, right?
Yeah, I ran there. I think that was 2023. We ran 3 races. We ran Port Royal, Williams Grove, and Kutztown, and everything else was like rained out. And I don't think we
Was
went to
that
Grandview that year.
wasn't it you and Hot Laps or Time Trials that put it up on the fence sideways? Was that you way up?
Yeah,
I have a
yeah,
picture of that. That was
yeah,
you. That's right. I just showed someone that like sometime in the last year. I showed someone that picture. I'm like, I remember that off turn 4 coming down the hill. Thing was like Logan Seaweed up on the fence. It was wild.
yeah. It was that right there ruined our whole night and just put us behind. And with their format, like I even passed cars in the heat race and started last, and Emerson Axum lapped me in like 5 laps because there's 24 cars and he's lapping you like lap 3. So me and Billy Pouch pulled off like lap 5. So um, that kind of didn't get the full experience of it, but uh, after that, running the 360 stuff there, it got really fun.
That's crazy. Getting into lap traffic faster in those cars at Kutztown than you do in a midget at the Chili Bowl. You get into lap
Yeah.
traffic faster. Like that's kind of wild with a full field. So um, I have 2 questions, but I want Jay-Z to ask them like he usually does.
I don't
What?
know.
2 questions? No?
Uh,
What does that
but
mean?
I don't know. I think about that here. But Matt Bird asked, how did you pick your 23B number before you got offered the 91 ride?
Yeah, so it's kind of like an oddball number, right? So my mom's birthday's on 23. It's always kind of been our number. Like our address is 2333. It's just a number in our lives, right? So that definitely that. But the B, I wanted to be 23M for 23 mom. It's her birthday. And Kenny Miller's racing the same series and had M. So we just went with B, and it's for Bob, which is my dad's nickname. So kind of put them both together there. Uh, that's it's kind of a funky number for my name being Preston, but it's
By the
Mom
way,
and Bob.
uh,
yeah.
Tom Rumsey and Tyler Murray both pointing out Pat Felly does have 2 PA Posse Series races, by the way.
I guess I probably knew that, didn't I? And didn't think about it.
I think I know the questions are your usual questions. One more question, though, here from Santos. What was your favorite moment of 2025?
Man, there's a couple. Definitely getting to travel to Knoxville. That was just a good experience, in general. Um, well, I won my first heat race at Lincoln. That was pretty cool. Or just racing like the second to last race at Baps there, racing with throwing sliders 4 wide with Dietz and Dietrich and Brock, like guys I've watched my whole life, just tossing up with them. So the whole experience of first year of 410, it was something to remember.
I'll get used to it because I think you're going to be chopping it up with them more here in the future.
Yeah.
I know the 2 questions. Jay-Z, you could ask yours. I'll ask Chris's that he usually would ask. What is one race? If you could win one race in your entire life, what would it be?
It's the King's Royal, man. I told you before
Yep.
the show, man. Everybody loves Knoxville Nationals, and it's a big week, big party week, a lot of stuff going on. But I love Eldora. It's that's my place. So if I could win any race, it'd be the King's Royal, and I want to run there as much as I can, get as good there as I can, and hopefully win some races someday.
We need to keep a tally when we ask drivers this question this year and see what it comes out to, because if Chris was here, he'd be like, "Oh, why isn't it National Open?" Because
It's not a Williams Grove race.
But no,
number 3.
there you go. There's number 3. What's number 2? Would it be
Knoxville.
Knoxville? There you go.
Yeah.
Those are good. Those are a good 3 right there. I like that.
This kid ain't posse. Get him out of here. All right. So you got to name me 2 drivers. Okay. Listen, I know you're a friendly guy and you have friends in the pits, but you're going to ruin all that tonight. All right. No, I'm just kidding. You got to name me 2 drivers. Somebody you love racing around. You just enjoy the competition, whatever the case may be, for whatever reason. And somebody you hate racing around. And when I say that, it's not that it's a personal thing. It's just they're a pain in your ass. They're hard to pass. They race you rough. Whatever your reasons are, somebody you love racing with and somebody that's a pain in your tail.
Well, this year I'd have to say the person who's the biggest pain in the tail was definitely Doug Hammaker. Like, me and him were always same heat race, same, area in the feature. It was always me and him at Williams Grove every week, and I got tired of seeing that 22 car. So that's definitely my least favorite. Favorite, that'd be a toss up. Like, there's definitely some guys that's cool racing with, like, definitely like Logan Rumsey, man. I know Tom's watching, but me and Logan have raced with each other since we've been 6 years old, and Tom is always taking pictures, and when we're next to each other in staging, or next to each other on the track, and I think it's really cool that me and him have come this far, and we're racing together every week. So that's pretty cool. And then like, I got to race with Darren Pittman this year. That was really cool to me. I love Darren Pittman, man. I've watched him for a long time, so definitely those guys.
And if it's like everyone else, you just saw him go off into the distance. There he goes. Darren Pittman, saw him twice this year, and I saw him. There he went. I saw him for a lap.
Yeah, it was
He's
the
amazing,
Hagerstown. Well, that car's insane too. But
Yeah.
he started on the pole, I believe, of the Hagerstown Speed Week B main, and I started like 4th or something. I got to him on the start. I had a really good start, and then it just started getting smaller and smaller. So like, that's pretty cool, and especially in the 69K. Like,
Yeah.
I loved watching him in general, and then race one was pretty cool.
I can't, like, if I was sitting in your chair, they're all the perfect answers, because these are all people that I watched, right? Like, even if it was peers or the same age, but like Darren Pittman, Lance Deweese, and watch it would be just, I would be like, oh my God, it's Darren Pittman. Like, I would lose track of what the hell I'm doing. Like, concentrate, pay attention. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Aaron Bollinger says Preston's the best basketball player there is.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
me and Aaron were chopping it up this week, man. On Sunday morning, me and him were the two least athletic people there at the basketball game, and we had horrible shoes for it. And we were just slipping and sliding around on the court. So Aaron made a shot, man. He's impressive, let me tell you. So uh,
That's not sarcasm. He's a good basketball player because
he's
I just
awesome.
don't see that either.
They don't get no better, man. He's a two
Oh,
sport
man.
athlete.
I feel like I got to see this. I got to be there for this because listen, I'm old, I'm big, I'm slow, but I can play a little ball. I got to see this. I gotta judge. Who do you think in the pits? Okay, of let's say the Lincoln Pit area on a weekly basis. Who do you think is the best basketball player? Who do you
Man,
think would
there's
be if you don't know?
I heard Jacob Allen goes to the Hanover Y every Sunday. Dude, Cameron Smith's pretty good. Uh, he was beating us up pretty good.
I could see that.
There the best though. I don't know. There's got to be some tall guy, right? You know.
I feel like Timmy
Oh
Gladfelder would
yeah,
be good.
dude.
You know,
He was there. Yeah, he was destroying us. So
I would feel like Tim would be pretty good. Okay, so Sunday mornings Hanover Y. Okay, I can get there. No
yeah,
worries.
get there, man. People are there.
Show up and all I need to do is play one game and I'll be dead on the sideline. So
9:30 a.m.
Well,
we need a posse driver like charity basketball tournament for one of these races or something.
yeah.
That's what we need to put that together. That sounds like a lot of
here
fun to
for it.
watch.
I want to see Dakota. I want to see Dakota Kuhn play basketball. I want to. That's.
Oh,
what
I don't
wanna
know.
see.
Yeah.
I want like I don't. He can be on my team. He cannot be. I don't care. I got to see it. All right, man. Hey, let's thank some sponsors. Hopefully, you've been practicing in the off season. If you haven't, now's the day you start. Thank some sponsors. Thank some people to help you get to the racetrack every weekend, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So Capital Renegade, they've been helping us so much, and with Kyle and everything, it really our biggest supporter. And Easy Go with Scott Gerber, you know, it wouldn't be possible without them. And we took on Bet's Garage this year. He's local to our area, so him, and we have Mitch Bodine with Magoo's Motorcycles coming on this year. He's got a really cool logo on the front. It's a bullseye, and it's got his logo
Nice.
on there. So
I met
got some really
Mitch
good
in the
partners.
fall. I met him in the fall.
Yeah.
Man, what a great supporter of the sport. Huge fan. I'm a huge fan of his. What he's done over the last couple of years, just in general with it. So shout out. I saw he was in the chat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Talking about Knoxville a little bit. So hopefully get to see him at the racetrack again this year.
Yeah, he tries to make it out with us as much as he can. He doesn't live far from Scott McLaren, so if Scott's at the racetrack, a lot of times Mitch is there. Uh, Mitch is sometimes there more than Scott, so he's got a few guys at the racetrack. He supports the racetracks themselves, and he's an awesome guy. So the more around he is, the better.
All right. Is that the list? What else? Mom, dad, what else?
Yeah, mom, dad, my sisters, they take care of the business while we're racing on Fridays and Saturdays. So during speed week, stuff like that. So couldn't do it without them.
One question is, did you get the helmet redone to say 91 yet?
No, I'm rocking that look, dude. It's got 23 on it. I'm rocking that look.
When was that? That was early. That was early last year. I was like, bro, when are you going to get the helmet changed? It's 23B on the side of it. It's like plain black 23B, right where everybody can see it. And I'm like, look, man, look. He's like, I'll get it fixed. I'm like, I'm just fucking with you. It's okay. You don't
I'm
have
gonna
to
wear
do
it
that.
out now. That's on you. I'm gonna wear it out.
That's fair. I deserve that. And then, what was the other thing? I don't remember what it was. Hey, good luck this season.
Yep.
We'll see you icebreaker. Is that the plan?
That's not really the plan. Depending on weather, we try to stay away from the day shows and the cold shows. If it's anything like last year, then you will not see us. But if you get one of those 60-degree February days, then we might be there. So,
I mean, they're tour shows though. They count.
Icebreaker's not.
That's what it was.
No, Icebreaker isn't. The first tour show was until Williams Grove opener.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Right. I thought
That's
somebody was
anything-
saying that the opener.
Or that weekend.
Oh,
Port Royal. It's Port Royal and Williams Grove that first weekend of Williams Grove opener that Sunday.
If it's anything like
Well, the way-
last year, then
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at this rate, the way it's going, we might have snow on the ground until May, so you may
Yeah.
not see anybody till then. So, hey, man, appreciate your time. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank
Good luck
you.
in 2026,
Yep.
and we'll see you in the pits.
Absolutely, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you,
Hey,
Preston.
man. See you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Preston Lattomus, everybody. Good kid.
Yeah.
He's going to be. He's definitely just a name you're going to want to keep an eye on. It's funny that him and Logan are kind of coming up together, and he mentioned that because those are definitely two names that I'm sure when we do some bold predictions and stuff in the next couple of weeks that we're going to be talking about, and then for years to come as well. So, yeah, awesome.
Like, it's crazy when you look at, the young talent that is here. We look at Preston, Logan. Troy's like the older of that young group, but he's still considered a younger guy in that group, right? He's not in his 30s yet, I don't think, right? No. But like Cam Smith, Preston, Logan,
Mhm.
we have a new entrant we're going to chat about here in a minute coming to the
Yep.
410s. I think we need to keep our eye on in a few years. Troy and Chase isn't old. He would be the veteran of that group if he was, but like I think it's underrated how much young talent there is in Central PA.
Mhm.
And as they grow and continue to get the opportunities, what this will look like in a few years.
Yeah, I agree. I think I think we talked about it a lot last year, and I think it's just starting to it's going to start coming to fruition here in the next year or two, where this young talented group is really going to start making some more noise. Marie, this is something that we're going to get to. When will the shirt ordered be shipped? So we did do a shirt. Our last update was that the screen print is ready. Everything's ready. They were just waiting as of last week. We're waiting for the shirts to come in to print on. And then once they're done, we'll go pick them up and we'll send them out. So I'm hoping this week. Might not be till next week. It depends on when he gets the shirts. We'll keep you guys updated, but I did want to make sure we updated you guys on that. Anyone who pre-ordered, you'll get a shirt, you'll get stickers, and probably a Vertical for Life shirt as well. So appreciate everybody's patience on it. This is our first run with it and everything, but yeah, thanks everybody for that, and hopefully by beginning of February, you guys will have them. All right, let's get into some off-season news and notes. I guess the first thing, let's talk about ride changes around here. Not many. I mean, we got Lance DeWeese moving to the Eichelberger 8, which is a pretty big move. Leaving the Shearer 12. And obviously Brock Zierfoss is going to be running his 3 full time and doing more of a it sounds like more of like a pick and choose kind of schedule, not necessarily going to be PA based, going to be kind of run what he wants. And then we did get news that Aiden Hare is going to be bumping up to the 410 class. Am I missing anything? Like those are really the main ones. I can't think of. I'm sure I am, and if I am, yell at me. But I can't think of any other huge. Everybody else is pretty much kind of staying put. Aaron Ball. We talked about the Aaron Ball. Yeah,
we did. Yeah,
we talked about.
We
that,
talked about
though,
Aaron
at the end
Bollinger
of last
moving to the
year.
Factor X team. Yeah, and then Matt Campbell joining up with
Yes.
Penn State knitting the line. I mean the LFG 10.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I got to say that LFG. I love everything so far. About the theming of that deal, right? Does LFG, what does it stand for? And it stands for what you think it means.
Yeah, it's exactly what you think it needs.
Like, I love that it's like a meme team, right? I might call them the meme team if they keep it up. But I'm a fan of Matt's. I like the Factor X guys. I know that whatever it was a split, and I like Aaron. So I'm a fan of both those teams and both those drivers. Brent Shearer will be driving the 12 this year.
Yeah.
That's their plan at this point. Going forward. I guess the other big one, right? We saw a little bit of news that not 410 related, but the wingless super sportsman Tony Jackson, we know, is stepping away full time.
Yep.
May see him in that car a couple times, but the word is that Chase Gutschall, friend of the show, the Gutshalls, that family. Chase will be in the 88 for most of the wingless sportsman winged sportsman. in the 88 car at select shows, mostly, BAPS and, where it kind of fits around his winged 358 schedule. Look out for a little bit of a new scheme on that. Chase Gutschall won that 358 as well. Keep an eye out for that. Yeah, but other than that, I mean, I think we kind of got what we got.
Yeah, there wasn't
I think
I totally forgot about the until I started talking about it was the Bollinger Gamble thing, but that happened so long ago. I kind of forgot.
Oh, and it's
about
weird.
it.
I don't know if I think we may have talked about it a little bit
Yeah.
on that one, but the way we kind of did what we did there, we know Justin Whittall will be back in the 67 at this point.
Yeah.
There were some rumors that he may have had some opportunities in something else. Looks like that did not come through. We saw news today that the Bill Rose team brought on a new crew chief. Came
Yep.
over from guy formerly with the 7S. I just saw that a little bit ago. They were the 7S team. Since we were gone, Donnie Schott signed with CJB as
We're gonna
second car.
we'll get in the
You have that
national
on the
stuff
list?
here. Yeah, we'll get in the national
Okay.
stuff here. I was just keeping it local
But
first.
yeah.
Before. Tyler Murray,
Buddy
Buddy Schweben's
Yeah.
running 410s full time. That is, if he's running in the 1W.
Oh, well, that's something.
I did not know that. That is, I think that is when we're talking about guys like Preston and Logan and Buddy Schweben's, man, he absolutely broke my neck last year when I watched him at Selinsgrove, Bridgeport. He is a talent, that is for sure. And seeing more of him, I kind of figured would see him more in the 410s, but did not know that with the 1W. And then
I am intrigued.
Yeah. And also Justin Foster in the 84M.
358. That's good. I like Justin a lot. I'm glad that he wants to continue driving and has an opportunity. That's cool. I'm glad we'll see Justin more this year.
Aunt Babe, hi Dad. Buddy's got 62 shows scheduled between the 1W at the Grove and Port Selinsgrove and Select BAPS. That is awesome. That is a name to watch. He is a gasser. That is for sure. Oh, Tim Anderson Jr. Buddy is right. You guys are breaking news to us because I didn't know this about. I knew
I know this shit about Buddy, but us.
Yeah, I was going to say I knew he would be running more 410s, but I didn't know.
Who's running that PR team for Buddy? We got to get some news out here.
Buddy is racing his 35 car at Port full time and Selinsgrove shows and Bridgeport naturally. Yeah, Buddy was a beast at New Egypt with Ward. Every time I've seen, like, he went out at Selinsgrove, was like his first or second time in a 410 ever. And he was, he would go to, and he was just passing cars immediately. Like he was impressive on such a fast track like that too, was super impressive. And then obviously, he was good at Bridgeport and at New Egypt. So definitely a name to watch. That is exciting. And it's good that he's here in PA. That's like that
to hook us up with an interview. We got to get him on the show.
We need to get him on the show for sure. He's one of my top 5 young guys to watch. They posted it on his Facebook page 3 days ago. I guess that shame on us.
I guess I gotta go find his Facebook page.
Thank you guys for letting us know that.
Thank you, son. I don't seek that stuff out. Go follow it right now then.
That's awesome with Buddy. Logan Spar's running 358s to start the season. That's good. He was running that deal towards the end of the season last year, so I'm assuming
maybe he's watching the show.
Is Logan still running the same deal, Santos? Because I know you were helping him. Buddy Schreebens is the best buddy. Says Mandy. Let me bring this on up. Let's talk nationally a little bit here. There we go. And courtesy of Sprint Cars Only, good Facebook page with some good graphics and stuff. Here is your driver roster right now for High Limit and the NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars that are confirmed. High limit, you got Brenham Crouch back in the 5, Tyler Courtney making his return in the 7BC. We know Davison Pursley moving over to the KKR 9, Tanner Holmes taking over the 13. You got Brett Marks back, Rico Abreu back. Obviously, with the merger with Tony Stewart Racing, Danny Sams is also coming back. Justin Peck. Cy Lynch is making a return. Kerry Madsen will be in the 55. Giovanni Scelzi in that new Spire ride in the 77 with the Chili's sponsorship and everything. That'll be an interesting one to see. Aaron Reitzel and Tanner Thorson, those are your confirmed drivers for High Limit. You were going to say something.
Yeah, I was going to ask Preston about merch for Santos. Maybe Santos already knows.
Oh,
what's new merch coming this year. But on our T2T Facebook page, I just shared Buddy's post about being in the 1W. So y'all want to go check it out, follow his socials. If you haven't, I just shared it to our T2T page.
So High Limit, nothing really. I mean, obviously Giovanni Scelzi is like one of the bigger additions to the roster that wasn't there necessarily. I mean, he was there obviously when Tyler Courtney went down, but he's making technically the jump from the Outlaws to High Limit with his deal with Spire. Tanner Holmes is going to be an interesting one to watch. Right now, he is the only rookie on the tour, so we'll see if anybody else decides to jump on. The Outlaw side of thing, your confirmed drivers, Ashton Torgerson is going to go out on the road full time in the 1A, along with Logan Schuart. So both Shark cars back on the Outlaw schedule. Back on full time. David Gravel going to defend his title. Cole Macito's back. Chris Wyndham back in the 7S. Donnie Schatz in his new ride with CJB. Scotty Thiel making a rookie run in the 16C. Spencer Baston in the Stenhouse 17. Bill Balog's coming back. Garrett Williamson coming back. Scott Boguski is also going to make a rookie campaign here in the 51. And then Sheldon Haudenschild is definitely running in what Santos says here in the worst kept secret in a while. We know he's going to be in that 18 car. Why they haven't formally announced anything is still kind of strange, but I think because everybody already knows that's what's going to happen. But yeah, he'll be in the KCP 18. And then the big rumors right now is Emerson Axum, your Chili Bowl winner. Sounds like he's going to go full-time World of Outlaw Racing. He made a comment that really kind of stirred it up, I believe, at the Chili Bowl, where didn't he say something about flow or something like that, and then something about Outlaws or something like that? I don't know. I saw somebody post something. It could have been bullshit, but we've all been kind of waiting for that to happen with Emerson Axum, and it sounds like he's going to go Outlaw Racing.
I heard Sheldon and the KCP team are waiting until Racing Extravaganza in York to debut and bring it to the show. That's what I heard. They're bringing it to York. They're waiting for the big show.
So, I mean, really, the only person we're waiting on a commitment here is Emerson Axum. That we know of. No news on Carson Macedo yet, which is kind of interesting. That is something that when we get into the schedule here in a second, I wouldn't doubt if the Outlaws end up skipping California. And I wonder if that ends up being a driving factor for Carson Macedo. I don't know if it is, but it is kind of interesting that Carson Macedo, I mean, that car has been on the Outlaw Tour forever now. It is interesting that they didn't announce anything. I don't see him jumping. I see him staying with the Outlaws. But you never know. I mean, if there is a time to jump for him, for somebody like him, obviously. Oh, and somebody also not on this list would be Buddy Kofoid. But we know he's running Outlaws, right?
The Bill Rose 6. They didn't
Bill Rose 6,
announce. Yeah. They're going to be on a tour. They're probably going to be back with the Outlaws. They haven't have a driver named that I know of yet. So yeah, and there's still some not on this list, but we know that Buddy's going to be an Outlaw, and that he just is. So until they declare, I guess you can't make it official, but there's still a few.
And this is
like I feel pretty confident you're going to see the 83 on the Outlaw side.
Yeah,
this
is the roster as of the 10th. as of the
Yeah,
10th, but I
exactly.
don't think there have been any updates since then. I haven't seen anything.
And I would be completely shocked, or as would the rest of the industry, if the 41's not on the Outlaw Tour. I mean, that's just
Yeah. But I mean, it is
yeah.
intriguing because, like I said, they have kind of taken the stronghold on California. They have placeholder dates on the Outlaw schedule, but no, as far as I know, we're going to go through the schedule, but I didn't see them confirm any dates for California. They're just kind of placeholders. So they could be avoiding it altogether and just kind of, high limits could be the only one to go out that way. Has Connor Morell announced anything? We haven't seen anything. Volusia's here in about 2 weeks. When at least they start with the ASCS, and then it's another week, I think, until the Outlaws run there. But you got to decide soon, right? I mean, if you're gonna run at least the Outlaw Tour, you got to declare now, basically. Dave Scott Smeltzer, we've been hearing about this, but still nothing declared. DJ Stutz might be on the Outlaws. We heard this a little bit last year. People are still
I
getting
was on
things.
that. I was on that train last year. It didn't happen, but I had heard this kind of same thing about this time last year. Kind of was like, hey, keep an eye out for this, and that didn't happen. I know it's a bucket list thing that TJ would like to do. I just think they gotta. That's a lot, right? They got to commit to it and have enough equipment to make it. And listen, I think we would all be fans of his hoping for the best and the success for TJ and the boys and things. It'd be cool to see. I think it's tough, but it would be cool to see.
Tyler Murray says, "Gonna decide after Volusia." It sounds like so. That makes sense. You can go run Volusia and then decide, hey, I want to declare or I don't. You kind of get to see what you stack up against, see if you're ready. We've seen that a lot. We've seen guys declare, go run Volusia, and then drop off. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I mean, you don't have to, but I mean, most of the national rides have declared what they're going to do. The only person that we are really waiting on, I guess, is Carson Macedo and technically Buddy Kofoid. But I don't see any reason for Buddy Kofoid to leave. He might be the favorite, which is crazy to think of with David Gravel there. We'll talk about that when we do our predictions, but he's one of the favorites to win the Outlaw title. Billy Dietrich. Who cares about the Outlaws? We had the Posse Tour. Damn right.
That's the list I care about. That's the only list that matters.
Yeah. And I guess that's something that we'll find out, over.
You won't.
I don't think you will. Yeah.
You don't really declare for that, right? Because it doesn't matter. You don't get tow money. You're not going to guarantee anything.
And you get 3 drop weeks.
Really,
so
yeah,
it's really just a points deal.
You get 3 drop weeks that go against your worst finishes or skips, and then you can still not run all the races and be in the points, which we did get confirmation. That was my biggest thing. Well, then what? You're going to pay out 2 people that make all the races that qualify for enough of them or whatever?
Yeah.
No, you can run what you run. If you finish where you finish, you get it. Show us the list. Billy, I don't know if there is one. I know like 2 drivers, 2 teams.
I think that's kind of the point he's getting at.
All this.
I do still think you end up seeing for the Posse series, which we'll go into the schedule here in a second. We real quick, but I think you probably see 10 drivers or so make 90% of 10 to 15 drivers probably make 90% of the races. I don't, especially with they did remove Speed Week. Let's just get right into it. Screw the National Series. Posse for life. So here's your Posse schedule. Starting in March, Port Royal and Williams Grove the first weekend. We already went over this a couple weeks ago. It was like back in November now when they first released this. Some of the changes since then, they did remove PA Speed. PA Speed Week is still part of it, but not part of it. They won't count towards season points, which I think makes sense because Speed Week is so grueling and not everybody can do the entire, 10 shows or whatever. And, you end up, you run into things later in the week and you can't make it, but you can make it back, maybe the next week or the week after that. So them removing that and kind of just making the series around that, I think was a good move. That's a positive move in the right direction. I still think it's a pretty big schedule. It was supposed to make it felt like it does concentrate to certain tracks on weekends, but if anything, I feel like we're going to be racing more, which I don't know is necessarily the move, but we'll see how it works. Billy says, I heard 12 cars are doing the whole thing. Yeah, I mean, that sounds about right. And we'll see. You don't know how, like, especially around here, you never know. You schedule these things and 20% of them could get rained out. And that's just kind of another part of it as well. Everybody freaks out at the schedule. Everybody freaks out the schedule early on, but then, all of April could end up getting friggin' rained out, and then we're dying to go racing more. So you never know.
You'll know by the beginning of August what you got, because by that point you've raced
season's over.
all of those. Well, but look how heavy it is July, August, and September. You get to the beginning, you get to August 14th, Sealands Grove on a Friday night. Who's there and who's not?
Mm-hmm.
And then the cars that are there that night, or you get to Sunday 9-6 at Lincoln, or Sunday 9-20 at Path Valley. You'll know by about that point of the year who has a chance to finish this off, right? Because whether it's equipment, what if we have a summer and it just hits and we don't have a lot of rainouts, right? It's a lot of racing. Can these teams kind of go through all that, right? So, you'll really have a good idea, late July, maybe post Speed Week, even though they don't count toward the series. The teams that want to race all those races, did they burn the shit up? They got to go to work. The trucks broke down, right? Like our buddy Cody Hartlaw, right? The damn thing broke down twice on the way to port. They called it a Speed Week and said, we're out, we're done.
Right.
We'll figure it out. Right. And so it's just, you'll know by about then.
Yeah. And I think Preston has, he said it in his thing. And I think that's going to be the mindset of probably a lot of the teams that you see don't just stick to that don't just usually typically stick to just one track. This is a good baseline to build your schedule around. And then, you fill in with weekly shows, or if you want to, like in his case, he might want to go up to, All-Stars up in New York or Ohio, something like that for a team that wants to travel a little bit more, or whatever. If you're a team that just wants to stay local, maybe you just want to hit a weekly show. I think there's like 9 or 10 weekends still where it's still like, hey, like on Saturday, it's Port Royal and Lincoln running weekly shows. So you still have that. I like I said, I think that's the way. It's just a different form of building your schedule around here. Is really what it's going to come down to. Are you going to see guys run the whole thing? No, but yeah, a couple maybe. But I think you'll get decent car counts at every single one of these events, and most of them will be pretty good at the main tracks.
Yeah,
sure.
I agree. I mean, I even look at the end of the July schedule. Sealands Grove at the end of Speed Week, Clinton County, Bedford, Williams Grove. That Sealands Grove, Clinton County, Bedford run, the last race of Speed Week, and then Clinton County and Bedford, you'll know what you got.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because I'm a fan of going to Bedford for watching 410s, and I love Clinton County 410s. But the travel, the time, equipment, do we have to go do that? I think you really get a good feel for what you got with, hell, even if you look pre-Speed Week, you go from the 26th. That is Speed Week, really. And then before that, you're at Bedford and Path Valley before Speed Week starts. Like, you're really going to get a good feel for it, because I think it's a slow roll into it. March, April, and May. Williams Grove, Lincoln, and Port Royal. There's a Bridgeport in there, right? But for the most part, reasonable.
Yeah.
You get into close, just before and just after Speed Week, you're going to know what you got, I think, from a driver standpoint and teams and how many are there. JT 22. Don't forget about Tyler Bremen, the 28. What 28? I think.
Oh yeah, you didn't see. No,
Tyler
Brem. Yeah, Tyler Brem is starting a new 410 team, and they are running
That's
next
right.
year. So yeah,
I shared that at one point. I forgot about that. Yeah, I'm a Tyler Brem fan. I was a fan of his in the 358 when he ran it. And the owner of the car passed away, and I think he was in a 305 last year for something, a 44. He was an all black with a white 44 on it. I think maybe I'm wrong. No, that'll be fun. I think cool new entrance into the 410 world. We're going to see our buddy Kyle Keene back on the racetrack after some motor issues last year. Really looking forward to it this year. I'm hyped for 2026. I'm ready to get going.
yeah.
And we're really far away. It doesn't seem like it because of the dates, but we're really far away. It's still another
I know, but
30 plus days.
You have something now. Like Chili Bowl kind of gets that the juice is flowing again, and then it's like you start talking about it, it's like I think I have to look. I mean, I know it's late models, but I think they start down at Volusia this Thursday. I think
it's this
already.
week. I saw Davey Frantic said they were loading up to head down.
That's what I mean. And then they go into the 360s, and like basically starting from this Thursday for the next 3-4 weeks, it's Volusia, with just a bunch of racing. So are you guys going to all the races? That's Billy. I plan on being at most of them. I mean, some of these Sunday shows are kind of touch and go because it's tough, especially like Bedford for me is like 4 hours away, it feels like. So trying to do that on a Sunday, but I plan on being at majority of these, to be honest, myself at least. Other fans, I don't know, but
Billy, I can't this year. I'm not going to talk about why I can't, but I can't this year.
Yeah.
I'll be out on most Saturday nights.
R.I.P.
So Friday nights and Sundays, maybe I'll be at some of these, but this year's a little bit different for me. So no, Billy, I won't be eligible for the points. Won't get enough points.
Clayton Myers asks, are all the Posse Series shows going to be time trials or still mixed formats? It sounds like it's still going to be still mixed. It'll probably be majority of them will be time trials.
I think.
I would imagine they would do Speed Week format, because it's one of the best formats. But I don't see them doing time trials. Obviously, they're not going to do time trials like on opening day shows in March, which is something I don't love. I think if you're going to do series, I'd rather have like a consistent format. But first year of this, let's see how it goes.
You see Tyler Murray, what he wrote there just before that, responding. Almost all the shows will be a speed format outside of opening day shows.
Okay, so there you
go. Matthew Bird, how do you guys feel about the Random Wednesday shows at Lincoln this year?
Yeah, so
big fan. Personally, Jay-Z, big fan. They've worked in the past. If the weather's good, these are meaningful shows. They could potentially depend on the timing. On the timing of these, the way they put them in there, could get invaders in. Invaders bring fans. Fans buy tickets. We make profit. I'm a big fan of a weekday show when it makes sense. When you have a chance to fill your field, where let's say the everyday working guy wouldn't be able to make it on a Wednesday, but you might have a professional team come in on a Wednesday, fill that spot maybe. I personally, as a fan, enjoy them. I think they have a different feel to them. I think it's great for Lincoln. I think it's worth trying. I don't think you stand to lose a ton. I think you can only gain here. That's just my opinion.
Yep. Let's take a look at the overall schedule. Now, the only schedule that hasn't been released yet fully has been BAPS. So we don't know what their Sunday schedule looks like quite yet. We know some dates, but we don't have their full schedule. But every other, the Lincoln, Williams Grove, Port Royal, Sealands Grove, they all have their schedules out. And I do have this calendar here. I posted it a couple times on our Facebook. I'll post it again. Once
I need
BAPS, it's a link. You can add it to yours. Add it to your schedule, and you can see what's going on. Obviously, we start on on February 28th and March 1st. Scheduled 2-day icebreaker at Lincoln, and then March 7th BAPS opens up their regular season with Sportsman, Limited Late Models, and Legends, and then Lincoln has a Saturday, Sunday 410 show, 410s only. They've been doing that for the past couple of years, where they had, which is, it's smart to do. You schedule for both days. If you have great weather for both days, cool. If not, you just kind of try to put your eggs in one basket on the best day, and then if the weather's too bad, you just cancel the whole thing. But you at least get more than one chance to try to do a day. Even you moved Icebreaker to what, Thursday 2 years ago, because it was like 70 degrees. So obviously these are all could be changed. Then March 13th, March 14th, Port Royal opens up their schedule with the Short Track Super Series modifieds. Lincoln will run three on the 14th with 410s and 358s. And then, you have your races, your series races here. Port Royal, Williams Grove opening day in March. Couple other dates here, something interesting. 410, April 10th. It's a Friday. Selinsgrove's going to run 410s against Williams Grove for their opener. Don't know how that's going to go. We'll see. I hate night racing in April. I think it's stupid. I think it's still too cold.
It's terrible.
I think
those night races at the beginning of the year, they're the worst nights of the whole year. It is so cold.
It's awful. I think it should be day racing until May. That's just my personal opinion. If we're gonna race in this type, I understand Williams Grove. They kind of don't have a huge after their opener on Sunday. I mean, they could either keep racing Sundays, or you have to go to your Friday, and then it's just 7:00 in the beginning of April on a Friday. It's usually like 40 degrees, but people will
be there.
Show up. Yeah, exactly. We're gonna be there anyway, so bitch all you want.
We're more diehard than some of these race car drivers. I don't want to race in the cold. It's too windy. Sheesh.
So as we get
Just kidding.
We get into April here, this is dumb the way they have this April.
Yeah, I'm a big day race fan. I know the drivers aren't so much, but I'm a big day race fan as a photographer. Mm-hmm. Yay for sunlight.
Well, that's Billy says day races through March at least. Absolutely, yeah. I would argue at least till Easter or so.
Yeah.
Even that, like end of April is when it starts to be like, all right, maybe it's like 50 degrees at night and it's manageable.
There you go. I'm not going if it's cold and windy. He'll go out and hunt cold and windy, but he won't drive a race car. Race car generates heat, and he won't want to be cold in that. No.
But I'm in agreement with that. I that is a hill I'll die on. I wish we had, we raced during the day longer. Even if that meant Williams Grove had to race Sundays a couple more weeks, I'm all for it. But I understand you want to try to get into a schedule too, and you don't want to be bouncing days and whatnot. But April here, trying to see if there's anything that really sticks out. Nothing really. Obviously, in May, the Outlaws come to town for their first visit. You got Lincoln on a Tuesday, and then the Morgan Cup Friday and Saturday. Selinsgrove gets to order about late models that following Thursday, so they get a national touring series back with the late models. Let's see here. June. All-Stars come to town in the beginning of June. You have USAC Eastern Storm that comes in the middle of June. And then that's usually the same time as Ohio Speed Week, I believe. And then we get in the PA Speed Week right at the end of June, first week of July. And then it really picks up from there. Again, like you see here, like June 13th, that is just a regular weekly Lincoln Port Royal Saturday. I think there's like 8 or 9 of those throughout the year where you still have that. That was something that was what people thought might go away. And there's a little bit less. I think each track lost, like, when I say each track, I mean Williams Grove, Lincoln, and Port Royal. think they lost like 4 or 5 dates total by doing this.
Is that June 13th? Is that Appalachian Late Model Speed Week? That's
Yes.
the 410 Super Late Models at Lincoln. That must
Yep.
be Appalachian, yeah.
Yes, it is. Santos says super late, but per anonymous source, Macedo and Buddy both confirmed for Outlaws in 2026. So
I don't know why they stay anonymous. You might as well just put your name out there because that's happening, brother.
Yeah, and I understand what the delay is. To be honest, we all know what's going to happen. USAC Eastern Storm, my favorite week. I love Eastern Storm. I want to try to get to back to Action Track. That was such a cool race. I wasn't able to do it last year.
That's Father's Day weekend.
Yeah.
Well, it's been. I don't know if it's all. Everything's weird, pushed back a week this year. But
what sucks about that is it's the same day as Path Valley with a PA Sprint Series show. So you have 410. Like you have two really good options for a Sunday. You got USAC at Action Track, and then you got 410s at Path Valley. Two small tracks and with badass cars on it.
No way. That sucks. I got to be honest. That's shitty.
Yeah. Another one of these split days is the night before that. Port Royal has their USAC show. You get the Silver Crown, you get the USAC 410s, and then you'll have their weekly 410s, and then Lincoln will also run 410 and 358, which I think is good because you already get so many cars there for the USAC show. Anyway, that's always a long night, so we don't need to make that a series show where you have 60 cars, 410s on top of USAC. Yeah. So
damn.
Let's see here. Go through July, and obviously you have Speed Week. You get into the new high limit date at the end of July, Saturday and Sunday at Port Royal. And then you have BAPS that following Wednesday with the Outlaws, and then it's Summer Nationals the weekend after that at Williams Grove.
I just realized that. Go back to June real quick.
Mm-hmm.
June, April, May, June. When's that week? 20th? Am I 20th? So the 20th.
That's
I
a
go on
Saturday.
vacation. I leave June the 20th. So
you'll miss the USAC shows.
I'll miss the Eastern
at
Storm.
Port Royal. Yeah.
Jesus. Okay, great.
Rip.
Go ahead.
Bedford PA Posse show on that June 14th. That'll be interesting to see 410s back at Bedford for the first time in a few years, really. Let's go to August. Clinton County and Selinsgrove. That is the weekend of Knoxville Nationals. So Friday, Saturday, we'll see what kind of car counts you get there. Clinton County usually gets pretty good car count when they do this. They always do the Kings Royal and the Knoxville weekend. On top of that, they're going to also have I don't know if I have it on the schedule. I got to get it on the schedule. I want to say it's beginning of June. They have another just regular 410 show on a Friday night. Not PA Posse sanctioned. Just, so they'll have 3 410 shows next year at Clinton County, which is fun to see. Big fan.
Billy Dietrich says, I'm excited for Bedford. Honestly, Billy, I'm kind of excited for Bedford to be back on a 410, having 410s back there. I think that would be a great deal for the All-Stars to be going back to Bedford, once or twice a year as they come through town. But I like it that it's on the PA Posse schedule. I kind of dig it. I want to go watch a 410 race there. I've seen them like on streaming over the years, and I've been there in person, but it wasn't a 410 show. I kind of want to go see and take my camera to Bedford and shoot a 410 race at Bedford. It sounds crazy, but I kind of want to see it.
I think when I saw Bedford's date, one of them's Pocono, so I won't be able to make that one. I think the other one I won't be able to make. I want to say, is it right before Kings Royal? I don't know. I have to look. I'm like, man, both of them I won't be able to make. Selinsgrove and Clinton. Wow, that's a lot of driving. Maybe for you, not for me. That's like both of those tracks are like Selinsgrove's like 25 minutes and Clinton County's like maybe 40, 45 for me. So if you need if you want a place to park your rig or and crash and not have to drive a lot the next day, I'm not too far away.
Jimmy's got you. Jimmy's got you. I might have to do it too, Billy. That shit's too far back to back for me. Whew.
What else here? I'm trying to get to. I think I missed one already. So Lincoln is doing 3 Wednesday shows, and they are. I know where I missed it. It's in July. It is so July 22nd. It's right before High Limit is in town at Port Royal that weekend. They do a Wednesday. It's a regular show. It's not a PA posse sanctioned show. That Wednesday. There was another one before that, and then the one I really like is the one right before National Open, because you have the sprint car world kind of really comes in. I'm sure most of you have, but if you haven't been to National Open, it is a lot of people from all over the place that come for the National Open, fans and obviously teams otherwise too. So a day or two before that, I could see that one being pretty successful as long as the weather's good. It is the end of September, but I think that one could be very successful. I thought that was a really smart move. These other two, we'll see how they go. I hope they work. I think they can work for sure. That's really it. I mean, everything else is pretty standard. I'll throw this link up on here, and once I have to go back and go through Clinton County's schedule and get that one on, and Babs' schedule. Once that's on, that'll be kind of the finalized one. So,
yeah. Billy said 37 races, a lot of traveling. Billy, I just got done watching your YouTube channel where you got rained out in Ohio, and the next day you got up and drove halfway across the state of Pennsylvania to go to one race. You got one race in 2 different days, and one of them got rained out. This guy complaining about traveling within his own state. Come on, man.
Yeah, realistically, everything should be within 3 hours at most. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Think about some of the, there's teams from Eastern PA that have to travel constantly.
They do that every weekend.
Every weekend. So, I mean, it's all depends on your situation for sure.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. It's just like fans, right? Like Clinton County for me, that's a commitment.
Exactly.
That's a commitment for me to say, okay, hey, I know I got to leave at X time to get up there to make it to just get there for hot laps. And then I know I ain't getting my ass home until whenever, right? It's a commitment, even as a fan, not even owning a race car, to get to those places like these guys with the teams. And, Billy he works at the, he has a real job and get the car prepped and then maybe have to turn that thing back around and then to travel and then to sleep and then get up and then work Monday. Right. So, no joke for these guys for sure, and they got to really be committed,
I know for me, I'm going to probably, I don't think Bedford's going to be in the cards, but like, I'll probably get to, for me, I think I'll get to Lincoln more this year because of it. I only make it there maybe 3 to 5 times a year. That's including like icebreaker and the end of the year stuff when nothing else is going on. But these couple other ones, I'll probably, if there's no port races, there's, I can make it more of a point to go there because
the camping helps you a lot too with the camper.
The camping helps, right?
And you don't have to worry about that drive home. Just getting there and getting set up, and then you can sleep and go home on Sunday, whatever the case may be.
Exactly. So, but in the past, like if it was between Lincoln and Port Royal, Port Royal's like saves me an hour time. So yeah, I'm gonna go to Port Royal. You know what I mean? And so I think that's where it helps. I think you get a couple more races where you get a couple more fans, and we'll see how it works. I mean, and you hope for good weather on all these, and that a track doesn't get too screwed out of there. Like one track doesn't benefit more. Like the beginning of the season's very Port Royal heavy, and then the last half of the season's very Lincoln heavy. You just hope that the weather plays nice for both of them. You know what I mean? And these other tracks, they only have 1 or 2 dates I hope that one October 9th and October 10th, I'm really looking forward to the Selinsgrove National Open. That's part of this series. I hope that's a good weekend for them. I'm excited for that. So yeah, I'm, just kind of keep our fingers crossed here.
And when all the big tracks cancel, you go to Path Valley and watch short track racing because they can run at any time. They run in the rain half the damn time. I left that one night, thought I was going to get struck by lightning coming over the mountain. Like, holy shit. That's what you do. When everyone else cancels, you make it hightail it to Path Valley and go watch some short track racing. That's what you do. Shout out Path Valley for running when no one else does.
Something that came up this past week was on the promotional side of things was BAPS. BAPS is killing it.
Aren't they?
Colton got he got
Promoter of the Year.
Well deserved. Been doing a lot of good things. Obviously, they're getting Lucas Oil late models in there. They're doing a night. It's a Saturday. They'll have a 3-division show: Sportsman, Limited Late Models, and Street Stocks. I want to say, right?
Might be.
But everything's guaranteed the entire show in by 9:00 or your money back. And when I first saw that, they did the bait and switch on the headline. I'm like, man, if they did that for the Sunday 410 shows, I would be at every single one. I would not miss one. But it's only for this one race that they're doing. And I think it's stuff like that. That's just kind of like, hey, we're making it a point to run an efficient show. It's not going to break the bank anyway. They don't have an outrageous gate price for their regular shows anyway. And then, you're going to go have a good evening. And then after 9, you saw a whole entire program, and maybe we'll go get something to eat or what, have a good Saturday night out. And I think just different things like that they're trying. That is it all going to work? No. Like all these different things that they try, but you got to try something. And I think they're very smart and strategic with what they've been doing in the past couple of years over at Babs.
Yeah, Jimmy, let's think about this. I want to back up a second because you bring up this is a really, really good point. I know we're going to talk about this more this season. The infield parking your car. You've done this twice. You bought the ticket to get your truck in the infield. You set up, lowered the tailgate, stood up on the tailgate and watched. You did it the first time. Was like, okay, here's what I would do the second time. So more of our friends went and did it, made a line of it, and had a party.
Mm-hmm.
No one else is doing that because they can't. Well, they could, but they don't.
They could.
Then they do the $5 show. Started promoting that a year ago for a 410 show. That's $5. Dip their toes in the water. We're going to try it out and see what happens. We got a sponsor, but we're going to do admission. We're going to get people in the gate. There we go. Now they said, okay, complain about the late nights. Let's try this one night on where it's necessarily not. It's not a high pressure situation. Can we as a team pull this off? Can we as a team? It's a test trial run where you can't mock that up. You can't practice that, right? Because shit happens. The divisions, the cars, the yellow flags, the track is ready, the national anthem, like the speakers, the lights, all the shit that could happen. But can they make a mock trial run and then also say, hey, maybe we'll sell a few more tickets. We're guaranteed to have you out of here by 9:00. We might bring you on a regular night where, it might not be our prestigious 410s and this and that, but fans have to think about these things. Think about it this way. If you have a kids and they haven't been to a lot of races, it's a Saturday night and they know 10, 11, midnight gets late. The kids are miserable. They want to go home. You paid $20 to get into XYZ show. The kids are now miserable. You don't want to waste your money and go home because you paid $20 to get in. You didn't see the feature yet. And it just turns into a terrible experience, right? There's a lot of fans that happens. Mm-hmm. BAP says, okay, well, it's racing. I don't care what the divisions are. Let's try this. Between the infield parking, between the $5 admission, between this deal, all the things that even opening up the infield, gating it off, putting grass in to open up the infield at BAPS to give people a different viewing experience. Yeah, other people have done that, but they didn't have to do that. They had plenty of seats. They didn't have to do that. BAPS is doing some things that it seems like the other tracks are afraid to take a chance. They're afraid to.
I don't even know if they're afraid.
I don't want to say they're afraid.
They just might not be thinking of it because they're so in their ways that what they've been doing has been working for so long to an extent. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
BAPS is in the position where they have to try these things and it's working.
Are they? Do they have to? I
Well,
don't know if they have to.
you're right, but
I don't
I
think they
mean,
have to, right? But if you want to make
not
waves and continue to grow your track and grow your market share and grow what you're trying to do at that place on a track that doesn't have a weekly 410 date, they don't, right? They don't
Mhm.
have. They're not Williams Grove, Port Royal, Lincoln.
That's kind of what I'm
We
saying.
know that.
Where not necessarily that they have to, but like think about where that track was 5 years ago to where it is now. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's because they have tried different things and put their heart and soul into the place, much like Port Royal was 10 years ago. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I meant by that. But yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Right.
100%.
And I think Babs could be looked at as an industry leader on this is what fans are looking for. Go do something about it.
Hmm.
Fans are saying go do something. Now, here's what I'll say about our fans. And if you're a fan, and I know you watch the show, we're fans, you're fans. One of the comments in the thread was, "Oh my God, I go to the racetrack. I don't mind. I want to spend all night there. I can't believe you had me out of here at 9 o'clock." Okay, bro. Okay, you're that guy. It's just like to be adversarial just because you can.
Yeah.
But
And-
here's my thing. This is what fans are kind of clamoring for is like, I don't need to be there 17 hours for a 3 division show or a whatever show. Like, let's go. Come on, let's
Mhm.
go. Right. Baps is listening. They're listening. Jimmy, they sent you out a survey. The people that bought the tickets
Yep.
to park your truck in the infield the first time, they sent out a survey to those people and said, what did you like about it? What did you dislike? And what would you ask to improve? What would you like to have differently?
Yeah.
They're asking people. And then they're saying, okay, let's try it. After it's done, did you like this? Did you hate this? What could we do different? Why are we these other places not taking steps and measures publicly and saying, this is our goal, this is what we want to do, and here's how we're going to get there? This is what fans want. This is how you get asses in seats. This is what we're talking about. It's not just raise the prices and then ask people to do more. You
Mhm.
can't ask people to just pay more and then you pay your bills. You need to do things to get asses in seats. These are the things that could get there. Are these promotions going to solve all the track's problems? No. But it's saying, hey, we're listening. We're going to try this. And if we can pull this off, we're going to put our little skin in the game, as our buddy Billy likes to say, and give you your money back if we can't do it. But if we can, did you like this? Did you hate this? Why not? Right? The world is turning into an attention span world. We don't have one.
Exactly.
This
Yep.
is what might need to be a thing, right? It sucks on a Friday night track like a Williams Grove. I feel bad for them a little bit on this case because they can't do that.
Mhm.
You just can't unless you don't have any cars show up. They don't start till 7:30 because it's Friday nights and people are getting off work. They're getting to the racetrack. I get that, right? But there's some other things. Whatever. They have a different set of circumstances, and I'm not going to solve all their problems because I'm a fan, right? But Baps is proving again that they're listening. They're taking chances. They're going to put it out there and say, hey, we're going to take a shot at this. If you love it, great. If you hate it, we can't do it. May not come back. But I really like some of the things that they're trying to do.
Yeah, me too. I just think, just trying some different things, and nobody's asking to rush a show through. We don't, because there is a fine line, right, where you don't want to feel cheated out of your money, but at the same time, you just want an efficient show. You don't want to be getting home at 2 o'clock in the morning every week. Things are going to happen. Where you're going to have weather. You're going to have wrecks that delay things. Shit's going to happen, but any weeks that you can. I thought Lincoln did a good job last year where they had a couple shows where I'm like, it was like 9:30 and they were done. And that's awesome. That's, I think that's great. You know what I mean? And, yeah, I think Shacks are listening, and Baps is definitely one that has been listening and is trying some things, and they're kind of you're gonna see what things that they're doing that's working is gonna probably trickle down to some of these other tracks. You're gonna be like, hey, they work for them. Why not us? Leading the way.
Something I saw today, totally unrelated, by the way. Did you see the rules Hagerstown changed with their stock car classes?
No.
They're combining 2 of their 3 stock car classes into one and making them extreme stocks. So the extreme stocks that run it like Lincoln and mostly, Baps, Lincoln, and now Hagerstown, they're taking 2 of their classes and combining it and making it the extreme stock rules class. Holy shit. This is one thing I've been yelling about for like 5 years now is consolidating this.
If they can
Making it
get
one rule set for this division like the extreme stock rules, if whatever they are, and making it the same at every track in our area.
Yep.
Same.
Exactly. Selinsgrove's another one. Selinsgrove's another one that runs those almost
Yes.
weekly. And man, you could have a really good support division instead of having 6, 7 cars. You could have.
Yeah, I think it could grow because everybody now can go to any of those tracks whenever they have the class and say, I don't need to change this, 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 and this, or I'm not changing that, or I don't have that in stock. I'm not going to show up. The days of like, hey, I'm going to create my own class and I'm going to get all these cars to show up because I'm the only one in the area that has them are over. There ain't that many. Kudos to Hagerstown. I hope the rest of the tracks in the area follow and get a unified set of rules for what we call a street stock. Because we don't, I mean, really, the Williams Grove runs those street stocks like the big wide tires. They run a few times a year. Hagerstown, once at the Grove. I mean, yeah, I guess I don't know enough, but like there should only be that maybe. And then this extreme stock rules class, same rules everywhere, and schedule these guys and let this class grow again. The old Thundercar days, I know there might be difference in rules from that to the extreme stocks. I don't know the difference, but like, again, I go back and maybe I'm living on nostalgia, but that Thundercar class at Lincoln was as good as it got in my era as a younger guy. Man, I mean, there were B mains for a Fender car class.
Yeah,
B-mains.
that's crazy.
Like, come on, give me more of that back, please. Grove, change to extreme. Yes. God, they've been.
There you go.
I know it wasn't me, but I've been yelling about this now for 5 years at least. This is the change I think our area needed so we can have more of these cars and this class hopefully can grow. Big fan of this.
Let me get back to a couple other comments here from Mitch Bodine goes 2.5 plus hours for me every weekend. Fucking Jersey guys here.
You can change that, Mitch. You can change it and not be a Jerseyite.
Clayton goes ask. We are spoiled on the East Coast for driving. Shane Liebig raced with Ryan Timms weekly at Knoxville and Houston's from Rapid City. I mean, that's probably 6-7 hours.
Insanity out there.
It could be one.
Like,
like some of those guys, they'll go race on a Sunday, drive 4 or 5 hours one way to go race at Houston's on Sunday night. It's nuts. You have to be really dedicated, you know. So yeah, we don't realize sometimes how good we have it in terms of how many tracks we have in a pretty short, small location. Ohio's probably the only one that can probably compare in terms of how many, like, volume and cars.
Do you think Ryan Timms ever loses at Houston's again? Ever?
Probably, yeah.
Do you think he'll ever lose a race there? By the way,
maybe. I mean, man, that I would love to see him go out on a tour. I know they're doing the same thing what they did this past year, which is smart.
Another year
or two. But,
I mean, listen, I'm
can you imagine him and Buddy Kofoid versus David Gravel
every night,
you know, like, you know, and then you throw in Carson Macedo and Logan Schuchart and like that, you know, or Timms goes on the road with High Limit with Tyler Courtney, Rico Abreu,
Reitzel, Timms, Rico,
yeah,
Brent,
and then you have a whole young group there between him and Dayson and Tanner Holmes. Like, yeah, just it's exciting times, I think, for national series, for local stuff. You know, it could all go to shit one day, but right now I'm pretty excited about what it can be.
Yeah.
Mitch also says that'll always be Susky to me, for sure. Mandy says, sounds like that event is all divisions that have starters, so they're not wasting time pushing everyone off. That is something that, and it's very valid that when other tracks have been criticized about how long their events go, you know, it's just, hey, we have to push every car off, and we only have so much room and so many push trucks and so much this and that to do it. There are ways to do it efficiently.
Oh, are you there? Is Jimmy dead or are we all dead? Are we all there?
And that does take time, but not.
Oh, there you are.
Am I back?
I got you.
Was it just me? It said
Yeah,
our
I
connection
don't
was
know.
lost. I hope we're still live. It looks like we still are. Yeah, it was just me. Okay, anyway.
Right. What you were saying, and
About
I'm
the
going to
push truck.
counterpoint.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to counterpoint. Port Royal.
Mm-hmm.
That's a half mile. They get these cars pushed off, lined up, and go.
They're a well-oiled
Royal,
machine at Port Royal.
It's
Yeah.
a well-oiled machine. So yeah, does it end at 9 every night? No. Do they start at 7 on Saturdays versus 7:30? Yes. So does Lincoln. Port Royal moves the damn show along.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. Like, it can be done if we really want to have it done. If the drivers respect the track and the track respects the drivers, and there's a common like goal of like, hey, we're gonna keep you all safe, but we're gonna keep this damn show moving, and I need your cooperation, please and thank you. Right? Like, there's got to be a mutual respect there, and I think there's no love lost between some of the track officials and drivers sometimes. So is there a little bit of defiance sometimes? Yeah, I think there's some bad blood built up over the years a little bit. So I think that needs to come back into play, and that we're working toward a common theme here, that to get these people home. If you all want to get home, the fans want to get home, we need to work together and keep this shit moving. So like, I think there's some love to be made, I think, between some entities to do it, because there's no reason a Port Royal, a half mile, big wide half mile, can get it done and other tracks can't in time, like in a reasonable time. Let's keep working toward it. Let's just keep working toward it.
Yeah. And I think I've seen some improvement, at least personally, over the past year or two with a lot of that, I think.
Yep.
Tyler says it's 5.5 hours from Knoxville to Houston. That's insane. One way. That's 11 hours of driving to go run Houston. Ugh.
On a Sunday.
Oh, on a Sunday. Like, it just sounds disgusting to me. First, not just the drive, but going to Houston. Like, Houston is a great facility, don't get me wrong, but man, like, I'm not a huge fan of that track.
Brandon, any drivers, 358 drivers moving up to 410s? Yes. Aiden Hare. Aiden Hare is going to be weekly at Lincoln, some BAPs, and I think some other select shows they just announced. We do know that. Man, I thought there was somebody else. Well, we know we talked about Tyler Brem.
Tyler Brem, yep.
410.
I'm sure we'll see.
There's some other movement in the 358 division that has been kind of quiet. I know that like Amp A, our buddy Amp A with Kyle Spence, I know they really wanted to be in a 410, exclusively.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that has happened yet. The way last year went with getting their motors back in like July or something, just didn't work out. But I know they were trying to sell their 358 to just be a 410 team. I know there's a wing sportsman driver might be moving into the 358s potentially. I need to make that phone call. I don't know what his season looks like. I haven't talked with him much over the off season. Former guest, by the way. We'll see a little bit about that, but there's a little bit of movement. I think we're a couple years away from a few more moving up. I think we're getting close though, where it's going to be more than one or two in the next 2 to 3 years is kind of what I'm seeing. But yeah, we'll see.
Troy Savage says, when we race in New Zealand, we travel 6 hours each way. I can't imagine like Western Australia too. Like you're so far away from it. Like the way Australia is, like, you're just so far away from everything. I can't imagine how it is in like, just, you don't realize sometimes how good you actually have it. It's a little bit different though, because we have this in proximity, we can schedule 9,800 races a year. You know what I mean? Compared to maybe Houston, where they only run, I think, like 13 or 14 a year. So that a little bit of difference there. But
it's also what I've talked about in here about the supply demand imbalance, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have way too much supply, not enough demand right now. So that's why you're seeing some of these changes starting to happen, where it's like, okay, okay, we were spoiled. We filled seats for asses and seats for all those years. We need to like pull the reins back a little bit, right? People need to be able to afford to come see us race. Like, let's back it down a minute.
For sure. Grayson Buckwalter asks, when are you guys coming out to Tulsa? Oh, first of all, how
Next
about
week? I'll be there next week. I missed
you?
it. No, I don't.
No. I would love to go there one year. This past Chili Bowl was one of my favorites in recent memory. It was really, really good. I thought the track was really good all week. It was racy. The racing was good. I didn't see. I mean, you still had to deal with Cannonball, but you didn't see like some of the dirty midget racing we've gotten used to over the past few years. I thought it was a little bit better than that. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just glorifying it a little because it's in recent memory. But I thought the whole week was great, and I thought Saturday was so much fun. I was on the edge of my seat watching Darren Nida and
Mac Leopard.
Who's the other guy's name? Mac Leopard make the super run, the soup runs and everything. Like it was awesome. It was great, and I thought that's one of the best Chili Bowl features we've seen in a long time. I think, despite some of the cautions and all that, but man, I enjoyed it a lot, and the shootout was great too.
Yeah, based on what I saw, Grayson, I would love to go do photography for the Chili Bowl, but it looked like everyone else in the country was there doing that. So I would just go be a fan. And, we did not create our name Turn 2 Terribles from anything related to the Turn 2, whatever they call them at Chili Bowl. But we're really going to have to maybe go and show those folks in Turn 2 what this really means. PA posse style, exactly, I think. Yeah. So maybe that's the plan, and then do photography for the shootout. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I got to get to Tulsa. I want to see this sometime. I want to experience it. I feel like I have to someday for sure.
Pennsylvania was the top state to watch the Chili Bowl, by the way. Flo put that out. Turn 2 rowdies. They're not. You had it right there. You had it. You could use the right name. I remember when I think Earl was on the broadcast and we were sitting there watching it, and we're both like, Earl, it's right there. Just say it.
The Turn 2 toddlers. They were calling it, and I'm like, well, we may have been called that before, but that's possible. But I mean, come on, Earl, hook us up, man. Shout us out, brother. Sheesh.
Bring Stander. What a story for him. Alex Bowman Racing, only 2 cars, and both of them make not just DA main, but they both make the pole shuffle. But Briggs Stander and CJ Leary. Briggs was super impressive all week. It was funny at the shootout. They tried to make it sound like, and I know he doesn't race. I mean, he races micros, but they made it sound like he's never run a micro before. He's like, oh, look at Brooks Standard just gets in a micro, and look how good he's doing the show. And it's like, he does run it like Kutztown and stuff. Like he does run a micro. Just he's in so many different things that.
Well, I want to know why Tyler capitalized the words modified and the word driver. What's up with that? Like that's not they don't need capital.
Modified driver Tim Buckwalter too in the A-Man. How about that? They were fired up, and that was.
I only knew Tim from Micros and Speedsters. He runs he's a modified guy.
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
I think a little bit. I think he's maybe doing like a little wink there. Maybe that's why it's.
Oh. I
don't know. Maybe that's why it's capitalized. The Rowdies were going crazy. How about you see the fight in the grandstands? I think it was. I think it was from what I heard. It was between Cannon McIntosh and Golubic families or friends or whatever. Family and friends. Somebody had said that our buddy, whatever buddy in our Discords, he was a couple rows over, and that's what he said. Lath was there. Our buddy.
Love that.
And he said that's what happened. So. Yeah,
Golubic doesn't seem like a fighter, so hopefully maybe his family is. Because Cannon, like at some point I almost feel bad for the kid because he continues to do it over and over and over, and I'm like, what kind of mental block is it that you just can't avoid just wiping people out? Like, what is happening?
It's funny. So I was listening to Dirt Trackers podcast with Matt
Oh,
Weaver.
same.
They were recapping the Chili Bowl, and Matt talked about putting the camera in his kind of like posting what his interview with Cannon and just the amount of comments and stuff that the hatred towards Cannon that he got. And he's like, man, I kind of Matt Weaver was like, man, I kind of feel bad. I'm like, I wouldn't. He did it to
He's earned
himself.
the
I mean, he's
reputation.
gotten this
Yeah.
reputation. He's earned the reputation. It's not just like I would feel bad if like it was
Yeah,
like
a
the first
one-time
time this
thing,
kid
and
did
you
this,
wiped
something
out
like
the
this. But
the favorite. But like, yeah, but it wasn't like the country was full of Golobic fans. They were just against Cannon, like, because he continues to do it. And Golobic is known as a nice guy, but like, there were absolutely people in there just destroying this kid. They weren't Golobic fans. They just were like, he did it again, which is completely fair because he's earned it. Like,
yeah, you're waiting for it too. It like everybody you talk to, you're just
Yeah.
when's Cannon gonna do
Every
something
time.
stupid? Like you're just
Yeah.
waiting for it every time, even during the shootout. When's he gonna do something
every
stupid?
time. And it
It's a shame because he has a bunch of talent. And Matt Weaver said something in that too. He's like, Cannon's been in USAC for about a decade now.
Yeah.
And he still hasn't learned. Like he's still
he wants to
relatively
be in a
young.
410. Like,
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like he doesn't know what his plans are because he wants to go winged 410 race. I'm like, dear God,
and he's
gonna
ran some and he's done
gonna
okay
murder
at times,
somebody.
but like, not every owner is gonna allow you to just go destroy car after car after car after car. They might give you some grace, but not over and over and over. And in this way, if you wreck a car and shit happens, okay,
Yeah.
maybe, but like owners are gonna be like, no, bro. Prove to me you can go win a race and be clean, or at least be respectful to the people around you. It's
And it's a shame because it really erases a really good Chili Bowl run that he was having. He had to come from the B man and he was working his way into the top 5. Like he was having a really, really impressive Chili Bowl run, and then he goes and does
There's
that and ruins
absolute
it.
talent there. I
It's a
think
shame.
everybody can agree to that, but you got to put a lot of this other stuff together for sure. Brandon, next week,
good.
Tune in next week.
Yes,
we will
next
be doing our predictions. We will do bold predictions. I'll bring back the
Over-unders.
over under. I'll work on that throughout the week. Over under on wins. So maybe during the week we'll put the list of drivers up of who we're gonna put over unders on, and all of you can write down just on your own. Write down how many wins you think. We'll post the over unders on the show, what we picked, and then y'all can kind of chime in and what you guys think. So maybe we'll put that together. Jimmy and I and Chris will work on that. But next week we'll do some predictions, over unders, bold predictions for the year, and a guest next week. We'll have a guest. And we'll put all that out here next couple days.
Grayson makes a good point here too. It's wild to be that only one KKM car made the feature. That is insane with the stable and the drivers that they had. Obviously, they lost Buddy. Buddy is sick. He cut his Australian trip short as well. Hopefully, everything's okay with him. But still, I mean, you had Ryan Timms. You had, a lot of really good drivers in that stable, and only make one is kind of insane. Maybe that's one reason why this Chili Bowl kind of stuck out to me, is just you had so many different teams and drivers, and it was very wide open. I mean, obviously Kyle Larson, what happened with him, but Christopher Bell in his own ride, he was fast but not like dominant. Like wasn't a dominant guy. There's so many players. It was a really, really fun one. Yeah. Yes, we will be doing our show on Mondays. If so, just as I do my show. Sorry. Yeah, we're going back to Mondays now. We actually did a poll in our Discord, and it was overwhelmingly everybody wanted us to go back to Mondays instead of Sundays. And Sundays are going to be tough during the season too, with all the Sunday racing and stuff like that. So, yeah, we will be back Monday nights. Next Monday, we'll be back. A guest, bold predictions, over-unders. No real drinking to dump it. Just cheers to all you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you to Preston Lattomus for joining us. That was a really, really fun interview. Wish it nothing but the best for him. And again, thank you guys all so much for tuning back in, excited for what this year's going to bring.